Riley and Constant show, presented by the Sportscast. If you haven't yet, please subscribe on all of our channels: YouTube, Periscope, and iTunes. If you're on iTunes, please leave a rating and review. Also, visit us on the sportscast.net for all the up to date sports news. This episode is brought to you by Rama Jammas, Tuscaloosa's best game day tradition year round. Stop by today and have the National Championship Burger or Fry Green Tomato BLT. If you have room, don't leave without one of their famous shakes, Rama Jammas, where it's always game day. I'm your host, over the hill powerlifter, and 2003 Bama grad, Justin Riley. Now it's time to introduce the man who could single-handedly take down John Cena. It is the reason for former SEC quarterbacks having night terrors, and he's an accomplished author, Marvin Constant.
Hey, roll tide, roll tide. Hey,
Roll Tide.
you again. It's a pleasure, Justin. Thank you.
Man, honor. Week 2, man. Pretty excited about this, especially the guests we have coming up.
Justin, I don't think you understand the level of fun we're about to have tonight. I don't think you understand yet.
I do understand because guys like we have on tonight are why I'm doing this. Especially.
No, you don't understand, Justin. Listen.
No,
Do
you
see
listen.
The shirt that I have on today? Do you see
that?
Rooms, the background? I got to pay homage to these two fellas tonight, baby.
Man, and you're doing it. But before we get to those guys, as exciting as we are, first of all, man, let's talk about your book, man. We've seen the promo videos, we've seen the pictures, and now the books are rolling out. Tell me about what's going on with the book.
The book is doing amazing, actually. The pre-sale went well beyond what we thought it would do. So, that was a blessing within itself. I was so happy to see the response from people and how they actually embraced the project, because I get it. Fitness has been something that's always been expensive. So giving people an option that's low cost and effective, that was the only way that I could see myself doing this project. I would never charge people some ridiculous amount for something that'll help them improve their lives. So, with me putting it out like that, the response has been amazing from people. And, I want to keep that response growing. I want this project to grow and grow and grow.
And man, I think it is. And one of the reasons I think that it's having a lot of success is because you're focusing on the specific age group. Like I said previously, before we've talked about it, a lot of people believe in this myth that once you get 40 and up, then it's just over fitness wise. But now you're telling us with this book, it's not. Matter of fact, it's actually a beginning. So how much do you feel like that is playing a role into the success so far?
I think it's playing a major role into the success because, like you said, most people think once they get to that stage of being in their 40s, that life as I know it is over. But that is so untrue. You can still do things with your body. It's just a different way you have to go about it now to get those results that you got in your 20s and your 30s. Because again, certain things with the body are slowing down. That metabolism has slowed down. Those hormone and testosterone levels, doing this. So you got to understand what your body is doing at this age and how do you put yourself and your body in a position to win despite all the factors that are stacked against you.
Most definitely. And guys, I'm telling you, this is the book you need. At the end of the show, we're going to tell you how you can get your hands on this book. So we're going to get you hooked up. All right, Marvin, with your stuff included, there's a lot of grown man hitting that happened in this room. Many backs and quarterbacks are still having nightmares because of all of you. If you're a running back or quarterback, you may want to flip over to a less dangerous show like, say, the Paul Feinbaum show. Marvin, will you please introduce our guests?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, me personally, I'm a fan of these gentlemen just like the rest of you are. I am truly a fan. I had the pleasure of watching them live and in person back when they were at Alabama in 2009. So, hey, here it is. Let's just have it, baby. The one and only Jerrell Harris and Courtney Upshaw, ladies and gentlemen. Two of Alabama's finest linebackers to ever come through.
What's up, fellas?
What's going on? What's going on, guys?
Yo.
Man, I'm excited. Marvin says he's excited. He didn't believe I'm as excited as he is. But one thing, I watched the WWE back in the day, like in the 2000s, and they had this era called the Ruthless Aggression era. But I think they stole that because they were watching you guys because of how just physical you guys were every time you stepped on the field.
For sure.
Hey, Mr. Upshaw, what's going
What
on?
up? What's up, man?
Hey, listen, I want y'all to see something. I'm paying homage to y'all today. You see what I got on, don't it?
Uh-huh. Okay, I like that.
The 2009 National Championship shirt, baby. Pulled it out just for y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's been on cloud nine, so am I. So, guys, let's kind of circle back to the beginning. What got y'all in love with football to get y'all in the game?
Go ahead, Rel. You first.
Okay. What got me in love with football? I think it was just really the opportunity to be aggressive. I think I'm gonna be honest with you, just being at a place where you can kind of release your frustrations. And when I first started playing ball, like I was kind of a frustrated kid. And just being able to release that at a place and just to be able to have fun and kind of just do whatever you felt like doing was kind of the best for me. And I felt like it gave me a great opportunity after that.
Well, what about you, Courtney? What kind of led you to the game?
Oh, it's on me now, huh?
Yes, on you.
Mm-hmm.
The backyard football. No pads. We out there off no pads. Just that's when I fell in love with it. Just it was your neighborhood versus my neighborhood from where I'm from. So that's basically what made me want to play the game, love the game. Just the coaches that I play with, started Pee Wee football. So that's always been the reason why I got into the game. Just being out there, knocking heads. Since 7, I was always the hitter. Sure.
And that definitely happened.
I got to side with y'all because there's nothing like dropping back and watching that receiver try to run that little weak slant route like he just finna catch it, and you just run straight through him. That's one of the best feelings. A lot of people don't understand what that even feel like.
Right, absolutely, definitely.
When you big hit, man, that's what you live for, man. That's why you do it. We're getting away from it now, this day and age of football, man, but they trying to penalize every hit, you know what I'm saying? But back when we played, shoot, we was out there just throwing our bodies around, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's why I love the game, the physical part of it. So, I mean, that's why we do it, right?
Absolutely.
Definitely should be. I miss the days of pure physicality and just letting men be men. I've seen the hashtag "Let Us Play." Why don't you start the hashtag "Let Us Hit"? Because
Sure.
you guys, I think that you guys are the last era, of being able to do that, and I feel like that's a major part of the game. It's not flag football. It's not two-hand touch. It's grown men getting out on that field and doing their thing.
Yeah, the thing about it, I think, even though they're erring on the side of player safety, you're still putting the defense in a position to where they're not allowed to be themselves. They're not allowed to have fun. Because when you're scared to hit somebody, that's when you see the missed tackles. That's when you see a lot of the other things happen. So, I get the whole player safety aspect, but you're putting the defense in a bad position by doing this.
Right. I mean, just being involved in this, with UAB and, playing these past 2 weeks, last week against Miami, watching those guys go out there. So many tackles, man, it's doing, you know what I'm saying? But like you say, it puts you in a bad position. You have a chance to make a play, then you miss the tackle. Now they're in scoring position. Now, you know what I'm saying? We mad at each other, you know what I'm saying? We like get them out the game or whatever it may be, but can't have that in football, man. Let them hit. A lot of these guys trying not to get that penalty, so they going to be missing tackles.
But one of the things that they don't realize is an unintended consequence of all this player safety. Back when I played, because I was 10 years ahead of y'all, you could hit people and instill fear in them. Wide receivers and running backs don't have fear anymore because they know they're protecting them. Back when I played, they were scared to come across that middle.
Shoot, back when we played too. Hey, look, even if I was still playing to this day, I'm out there. I'm trying to take your head off. You know? That's the only way to play it, man. It's the only way to play the game.
Absolutely, and I think we all can agree that thinking too much can not equate you to being as productive as you can be. And when you asking players to worry about safety on every play, they're not really able to be the type of athlete that they can be. They slowing down, they shutting it down early. They're not able to run through. Like the whole thing was running through tackles, right? But how can you run through? Yeah, how can you run through a tackle if you're worrying about the safety?
Right.
We all play the game because it's dangerous. I mean, we know that. You know that when you put them pads on.
Exactly.
It's
not powder puff.
Exactly.
You definitely bring up a very good point. The mental aspect of it, people don't seem to understand that. It puts this thought in their head that they're all of a sudden thinking about possibly getting a penalty rather than just focusing on the play ahead. What's ahead of them and taking down, either the back or the quarterback or the receiver. And I just think that kind of throws off everything.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, because you got to think about something. Every defensive player in the back of his mind when he's playing, he's thinking, don't get targeting penalty because you're getting kicked out of this game. And if it's the second half, the first half of the following game.
Right.
So it's like you have to tiptoe. You're making them be cautious when they shouldn't have to be. It is a contact sport. Let it be what it is.
Exactly. We're getting away from it, man. I don't make the rules though. Like I said, and I'm out there trying to take your head off, you're gonna have to keep. Man, you might throw me out the game.
Hey, look, I wouldn't have finished many games if we had these rules back when I was playing.
True.
Yeah.
That's the fun part about it is that contact, man, being out there knocking head, taking away the fun of the game.
Yeah, man, that physical aspect. Again, that's the whole reason why we do this on defense. Right. It's all about the physical on defense. It's all about the show on offense. Those are the reasons why we play the game.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm going to kind of circle back in high school. Of course, everybody knows y'all were two of the most highly sought after players at your position.
That was 5.
Yeah, but everybody knew your name. Household names right here.
Exactly. Don't let them fool you. We was in the same All-Star games that I recall.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, we all know you chose Alabama, but kind of take us through the high school experience and what that was like for you guys.
For me, man, I'll go for real.
Okay.
I played with Jerrell Jernigan, who ended up signing with Troy University. He just got inducted to the Hall of Fame down there at Troy, like last year, 2 years ago, or whatever. But, if it wasn't for him and, Auburn and teams like that come recruiting him, I don't know if I would have had that shot because my high school coach, he wasn't really, in my opinion, helping kids get out, and get into a situation where they can, make it out, like go to small schools, the Alabama States and stuff like that. So, I always tell Jerrell every time, like, bro, I appreciate you, just for that. Because when Auburn comes see him play, they got to see me because I'm balling, So that's how I got my start. And, of course, I chose Bama. I almost flipped to LSU on signing day, to be honest. I ain't never tell too many people.
Okay.
Bama. Man, shoot, the rest is history, to be honest, man. Yo, don't tell them about SC trips, man.
Nah. As for me, I think mine was just, honestly, it was just perfect time. And I would say, because back in 2000, and we came out in 2008, so around 2005, 2006, the school that me and Dre Kirkpatrick was playing at was a smaller school. I think it was 3 or 4A, and nobody really from that school had went, to a Division I school in ages, mostly because of grades and, academics. But we was blessed to be able to, they consolidated the programs going into my junior year and Drake sophomore year. And so that basically put us on a national playing field and just being able to showcase our talents against the best teams. And we took advantage of the moment. We showed them what we was able to do. And like you said, next thing you know, we got offers, we got scholarships, and we got everybody coming to knock on our doors.
Man, tell them where them schools from, man. Quit playing, bro.
keep in mind we got an hour show.
He being too nice right now.
Right.
He being too nice right now.
Nah, it was a beautiful ride, man. But it really, like I said, it really happened overnight. To have schools like Pete Carroll and teams of that nature coming down to watch us play, man. As far as I know, I ain't never heard of him coming anywhere near Alabama. So to be able to have that opportunity was mind blowing.
That's why I told you to tell it, man, because a lot of us, man, we didn't get those big schools and stuff like that, man. You was a dog, bro.
Right.
And, you earned it, bro. Shoot, let it be known, bro. You feel me?
Yeah, respect.
So,
go ahead.
I will say during the recruiting process, when you're a heavily recruited prospect, it's a very different journey than just other players who are barely getting recruited. So Jerrell, you can tell them how it is when you're one of those people. I mean, it's completely different, because like I say, when I came out, I had over 50 scholarship offers. That's not the everyday, that's not the norm.
Exactly.
So go ahead and tell them, Jerrell, what it really is when you got that level of offers.
Man, to be honest with you, I didn't even, it's kind of like you don't know that something is special until you leave it, right? Because you kind of think that everybody's getting this treatment. You think that everybody's getting these special rides and, getting to fly out on these trips to go see these schools and just everything that they bring to the table. You kind of think that's normal. I didn't really know it was special until I had got into college and guys was telling me like, you did what? Like, like how was that? Like, and I'm like, what? Didn't everybody do this? Because like I said, me and Drake Kirkpatrick, at this time, we was the top of our positions. So, hey, respectfully, we was getting a lot of special treatment.
So let me ask the question: why Alabama, guys? With everything you just said, all those offers, all those top schools, Pete Carroll coming in there. Of course, Nick Saban was coming, but what was the big reason Alabama was your choice?
For me, man, it was Nick Saban alone coming from Miami. The Dolphins and whatnot, I immediately thought, like, man, this is my chance, to make it to the next level, you know what I'm saying? So, God, that is true. That's the main reason. After meeting with him on my little visits and stuff, man, talking with him, man, he made me feel as if, like, he always says, I can make you a better man and all that stuff. Like, at the end of my career there, like, he's done just that, you know what I'm saying? So all respect to Coach Saban, for sure.
Man, I'm gonna be really, really transparent and honest on this one. Man, Alabama for me was probably my third choice. Honestly, like I grew up a Florida State fan, so I always wanted to go to Florida State. But at the time, I want to say they were still on probation around that time. Not only was they on probation, but I think the same year that we came out, I think they had brought in like maybe 4 or 5 linebackers that year from the state of Florida. So that kind of like waved me away from going there. And then I had committed to Southern Cal when Pete Carroll and all them boys. So, but once I told, I'm close with my family and my mom and stuff. And once I told her about it, I took her out there. She was just kind of like, nah, this is too far away. And, the next best option, which turned out to be the best option out of all 3, was going to staying home to Alabama. I think collectively, I thought you had said something.
I said, of course.
Yeah. So it was a better decision. I think the icing on the cake was collectively at this time, man, we had the number 1 recruiting class, the first number 1 recruiting class in Alabama history. And collectively, all the guys coming out that year, I think we all came together and just like, let's make this happen and let's go change the history down here in Alabama in our own state.
You know what? And, I want to thank y'all for derailing us because my class was actually the highest rated class in Alabama history before y'all, just so you know. But
okay.
Me, Frank Billings, Kendall, Moorhead, all us, yeah. So y'all derailed us. That's okay, though.
Okay.
So let's get to the Alabama when you guys got there. What's amazing is your class stepped in right away. Usually there's this waiting period, but not with y'all. It's like as soon as your feet hit the ground, it's like y'all felt like y'all were responsible for the turnaround. Is
Mm-hmm.
that something that was on your mind?
Of course, of course. Like Real said, that's part of the reason for going. When we did, I mean, yeah, we looked up and we got Saban to come, and what I'm saying, the rest of us just we fell in line with it. Then we ended up signing Julio, so we knew. For me, I kind of knew where we was gonna end up going with it. I tell a lot of people too, like we could have possibly ended up winning 4 championships our entire career there. You know what I'm saying? So
We should have. We
we
should
should
have.
have. You know what I'm saying? With the 08 team, we had the chance. We ended up losing to Florida and then going to Sugar Bowl, getting beat by Utah. 2010, probably hands down the best defense we had since we was there, or while we was there. We let the fans, debate that. But, if we would have came together as a team 2010, nobody could have beat us, which we lost to Auburn, South Carolina, and somebody else, LSU. But, man, we could have came out of there with 4 for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think we, man, to be honest with you, we took it personally. When we all collectively decided to come to Alabama together, it was a personal statement. I think, like I said, us being at the top of our positions and nationally ranked, we was like, because I want to say like the year before we got there, they went maybe 7-7 in 2007, and I vividly remember like going to the games. I'm not even gonna lie, I was going to sleep. I was falling asleep at the games. Like it was no excitement. And I remember us going out and going down on the strip and hanging out and stuff. And the football players had no respect in Tuscaloosa. Like they like, oh, y'all the football players, get the end of the line. Like, so that all of those little things, man, stuck with us. And we was like, yeah, we finna change this overnight. Like we ain't even finna wait. And I think collectively by us coming in with that mentality, we made the whole team better. Because we pushed so hard, it was either you gonna get better or you're gonna lose your position. Which one you want?
All right, so I got a confession. All right, so everybody who know me, they know I talk more trash when it comes to football, especially about Alabama.
Okay.
So I was there a lot when y'all were there in 2009 and 10. I was around a lot of time. I used to see you,
Right.
Courtney, all the time with Big T over there, stretching your back and that sciatic nerve. And I used to be like, God, please let him play. Please let him play. I was like, not the back again. Come on, man.
Hey, man, just shoot. Rub something on that time. Play. Hey, I'm going to play. For sure. Yep. I still get them back spasms.
Right.
Yeah, boy. I used to be able to, God, let him play. Help him get the back right.
Yeah. Like I said, put your rub something on, be all right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, speaking of taking it personal, like y'all just said, you had that loss to Florida in 2008, and then follow up with that loss to Utah that really should have never happened. How personal did you guys take those 2 losses? Going into spring and then going into the 2009 season.
I think we took it very personal.
I mean, right. I agree. I mean, it's just the fact that, we was the better team, and we knew that once we got back what we was going to do. And, I mean, the following year, I mean, you saw what everybody saw what we did, undefeated seed, beat Florida, going to beat Texas. I mean, shoot. I mean, we all hate losing, right? Shoot. I mean, why not take it personally, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, we got our shot, rematch, and we went and did what we did.
Absolutely. And I think, man, I think for the most part too, like, even though we knew that we had the potential to be good, the potential to be great, I think the first year was kind of like a test run for us. We put our best foot forward, and collectively we added in the key pieces from that class. And like you said, it was mind-blowing that what we was able to do in that first year. So it was like, man, if we can just tighten up just a little bit more, add a couple more players, like what can we really be?
But you remember, bro, we didn't even switch much from the game plan from 08 and 09 versus We just did certain things different when it came to the plays that they ran. You know what I'm saying? And that was the story of the game. Once we lost that game, we was like, we would have played this play different. We would have won that game. And what we did, it's crazy.
Absolutely.
Man.
And I think it's also the mentality that Coach Saban teaches. He literally makes you believe that you beat yourself. Period. I don't ever think it was a game in Alabama where we was like, nah, they were just a better team. Nah, they wasn't. We really beat ourselves. It was things that we could have did better. We weren't in position, or we missed the tackle, or we didn't make the catch, as far as that. And I think once we really honed into that, it wasn't no stopping us after that.
Right.
Well, I got to say it. You two with Dante Hightower and Rolando, I will say that's probably the best group of linebackers I've ever seen in college football, hands down. I don't think anybody has ever fielded linebackers of that caliber in the same group. And then you look at Nico Johnson and a lot of the other backups that didn't even play much. I mean, y'all had linebackers for days. The depth on that defense in general, when you look at that defensive line with Marcel and all those guys, I mean, it's crazy how much talent y'all had on that defense. I mean, it's amazing to me that anybody ever even scored a point on y'all that season.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
And then you got the thing, we didn't get hurt either. So that was, our thing. We was durable. We weren't only good, we was durable linebackers. I mean, you had to pay somebody not to get them play.
Because you didn't want to lose your spot.
Yeah, you didn't want to lose your spot. Like, I can't miss a practice. I got to be out here, because,
I was trying to get in at one point, and once they let me in there, I couldn't lose mine. No, sir.
Absolutely.
They want.
Hey,
That's what hurt my. Take me up, put me in.
That's the thing about being on that caliber of team and being involved in, those top recruiting classes. We were the same way when I was in school with all these top recruiting classes. The next guy, he's right there behind you. He's ready.
Man,
so
he hungry.
Slip up, hey.
he hungry. Like you said, we ain't got no scrub behind us. You know what I'm saying? These 3, 4, 5 stars that they could be starting another team right now. So you mess around, have too many bad practices you want to.
I used to tell Rousey all the time, Coach, I'm good. I can play 70 plays. I don't need to come out. I'm good.
That's crazy. Because whenever I came walking, going, Alex go make a play. Come out, Alex. I gotta get you, bro. You can't make it. I gotta come in and get mine.
Right.
Marvin, you actually booted off one of those linebackers that was there when you were coming in. You sent him packing to Florida.
Well, he transferred because he knew he wasn't gonna play anymore.
Oh, I know.
Once I showed up,
And nobody ever heard from him again. You did it to him, man. Travis Carroll was the guy. You sent him packing.
I didn't go to school to sit on the bench. That was not my objective. That was not, no.
I hope that's not so you go sit on the bench, but sometimes I had to wait mine.
Sometimes it happens.
See, I went in there kicking doors down. I wasn't taking no for an answer. I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna tell you what did it for me. We was in practice one day and they had me over there on scout team. I know y'all know who Chris Samuels is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All pro. I hit Chris. Chris turned a whole flip and landed on his back. All the coaches just looked and they're like, this damn freshman just hit him, and he turned. From that moment on, they knew what it was.
Absolutely.
I make a statement.
That's Chris Samuels, you got to make a statement. Yeah, that's a good statement made right there, for sure.
Yes, sir.
We need film though.
Right.
Hey, I can get you the film, but you know what? Chris is actually going to be on next week, and he's going to talk about that. I was talking with Chris last week. That was the first thing he brought up.
Okay.
We gonna have that tape too.
Right.
We need that.
See, y'all gotta understand something. Back when I played, we were still using VHS tapes. Okay, it wasn't all this online stuff. See.
True.
You got a phone? You can record it on the phone.
Right. Screen record.
While you playing that tape, get a clip.
Hey man, listen, my all SEC plaque is sitting right there. I wasn't no slack in school now. Hey, look, hey, that plaque is right there on that wall now. Make no mistake about it.
Sure. I got a few plaques back there somewhere.
Yes,
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Yes, sir.
What I do want to talk about is that first national
Yes,
championship.
sir.
It meant a lot to me because like Marvin, I was there when it wasn't like that. The
Mhm.
atmosphere was completely different. When I went through 4 or 5 coaches in the 5 years I was there, and Alabama wasn't Alabama, so we were waiting a long time as a fan base. Then
Right.
you guys get to that stage, and my gosh, can y'all describe what it felt like to y'all and what the mindset was? Just before the game started and through the whole experience.
Shaw, you want to go first? Shaw.
Go ahead, man.
Okay. Oh man, for me, man, that was by
I'll go
far.
first, man. But for me, man, honestly, going into that game, I remember talking to Coach Sal, you know what I'm saying? I had that feeling like, man, I'm about to just go off.
Yeah.
With Sal, man, about, he's and whatnot, man, just based off the fact getting enough people. So I feel like had a couple pressures, recovered the fumble after the Eric Andrews sack, man. And just to win that championship, man, it was probably one of the best feelings ever. And I really can't really explain it as much more than that, man. It was just a great feeling.
As for myself, man, I would definitely say, man, that was probably one of the biggest and best games that I've ever been a part of, ever witnessed. Just the atmosphere, man, it was crazy. Being in California, it was just a whole experience. For that game, mostly I played mostly special teams that game, so it really fueled the fire to going into the junior year and just trying to repeat that same energy towards that and just I think that was the first test of the dynasty starting.
Although people like to say it wasn't a dynasty, and I tell them y'all gonna kick rocks.
And it's still going, though, right?
Absolutely, it's still rolling.
Of course, coming off of that big national championship win, the first one since '92, how did each of your goals change? And you, you won a title, so what was the next step up for you guys?
Just felt like my time. Once I got into it, I like to think that, once I was healthy enough, I really showed what I can be as a player, you know what I'm saying? And I think, the plays I've made once they put me in the star lineup and, the things I've done, speak for itself. So that was mainly my goal going into the season after the championship, man. Just getting in the star lineup and making plays.
Absolutely. I think it was just to piggyback off what he was saying. It was big for both of us going into that junior year, becoming full-time starters, and just really taking ownership for the position that we was in and being able to give back to the younger players that was coming behind us. We knew that it was never a situation where we felt like, okay, this is just us and we're gonna get up out of here and leave. At that point it was like we building a foundation or something and we need to be able to leave our stamp on it. And I think that junior year, I want to say that was when Coach Sal came in, and Sal's sincerity, man, was huge to both our success. He was a huge piece of it. I think he brought more NFL style mentality towards two individuals that was already great in the linebacker core and just showing us what we need to do to be pros.
You said, the younger guys. A lot of people don't understand that it's like a brotherhood. It's a culture. They don't understand how close you are when you play on the team with people. So, my question to both of you is who was that player who influenced you all or helped you all
Mm.
when you got there? Because there was always an older guy to help. It was the same way when I got there, the older linebackers, So who was it for you all?
For me, most definitely was Eric Andrews, for sure. Me and him obviously was, competing to, replace Fanning after he left my freshman year. And going to my sophomore year, I knew that it was me and Eric Anders battling out to be a starter my sophomore year. But he ain't never really looked at it as we battling, man. He took me on his wing, man. He taught me the ropes, for sure. Eric Anders.
Right. For myself, it was more so Corey Reamer. He was the guy that was in front of me when I got there, and I think Corey was a great fit for me because even though he wasn't as athletic as we were, still that he had the brain power to dissect plays and to be able to study it and to be able to know his opponents, and that was the aspect that we needed the most.
That same token, as far as giving back, who did you take under your wing to help come up?
Shoot. The Xavier Dixons. Adrian Hubbard was my roommate, man. Great guy, man. Funny kid, man. But those guys, once, you know what I'm saying, I got into a position to actually, like, be a leader of my position group, you know what I'm saying? So those guys, Ed Stinson, they're my guys, man, for sure.
Absolutely. For me, I think the one that comes to mind was John Atchison. That was my guy, man. I kind of helped him and nurtured him to take that position over after I left, and to make sure that he was in the right position and knew exactly what to do.
I will tell y'all, man, cherish that, because I can tell you from experience, man. I played 20 years ago, and I still talk to the majority of the guys who I played with on a weekly basis to this day, 20 years later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Man, I still root for them guys, man. Any Bama player before or even after me, you know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for them to win. These guys getting these big payday, man. I'm proud of them, happy for them, man.
Absolutely.
A lot of these guys. Kenyon Drake, I told him, man, he's probably my favorite running back, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just by all alone, you know what I'm saying? And, of course, he didn't have the most yards. He didn't win the Heisman, but, you know what I'm saying? That's when he was there, I was like, bro, you hands down my favorite player to watch, Josh Jacobs. We watch him do his thing now, you know what I'm saying? Guys like, I'm rooting for them all.
I feel like Kenyon's actually about to be the breakout player in the NFL. There's no question. He's just waiting for that moment where he's just going to explode. And of course, we all know what Josh is doing. My gosh, game one, we already have a glimpse that he more than likely is going to be the running back of the year. There's no question. I mean, no disrespect to Derrick Henry, but man, there's something special about Josh.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, there's no disrespect to him. I mean, King Henry is what he called himself, man. He did his thing last season, especially in the playoffs when it counted, you know what I'm saying? But, all them boys, man, like I said, I root for them all to win, so hands down to them all.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, let's talk about the 2011 season. My gosh, it's been said you guys arguably had the best defense in school history. George Teague has gotten into arguments with me about that because we all know what kind of defense he had with John Copeland and Eric Curry and all those guys. But my gosh, anytime defense, the greatest ever, comes into a conversation, this year stands out the most. What do y'all feel about that lofty praise?
And I think we earned it. The way we played, I'm sure Jerrell will say the same thing. Once we lost to Auburn and went to that Capital One Bowl against Michigan State, we had the mindset of, man, look, this is how it's going to be next season. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
Piggyback off that state performance and shoot, hands down, we should have went undefeated. It shouldn't have been close to first LSU game. And, that's just my opinion. That's how I feel. Going to always feel that way. But it's an honor, man, just to be out there and be recognized as one of the, best defenses in Alabama history, Alabama school history. But, man, we had fun, man. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely, man. Just to piggyback all he said, like he said, it was a great honor. I can honestly say that the entire year we knew that we was going to win the championship. We knew that it was nobody that could really man-on-man play us. And it was just crazy going through the season because, don't get me wrong, it was a challenging year, but it never really felt like we wasn't in position. I still remember like games actually having a conversation with the tight end or the other players on the team. And even during the game, it was almost as if they had already lost the game. You know, it's kind of like mentally they like, hey, I'm just glad to be on the field with y'all. And we, you know, what
Sign the autographs at halftime.
Right, it's like right. They asking questions like how it feels to be playing. Like it was almost like they had turned into fans. And so that's when it really kind of hit me. They're like, okay, we on a whole different level. And as stated, you know, guys from Alabama, we don't really carry ourselves like that. So we're not even really thinking that we're as high stature as we probably are with the nation watching and all the schools and stuff. So man, it was remarkable, man, just to be a part of that.
I mean, I feel like it was a bunch of individual guys with that mindset. Like, look, we gonna shut down our position, like our side of the field. And all of us did that as a group, man. And it was beautiful, man. We did some stuff like the way we performed out there, the plays we made. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, the offense give up, you know, throw an interception. Okay, we back. Let's do what we do. That's the mindset we had, and that's what we gave y'all. Like the performances we put on the field, that's what it was.
Absolutely. Sure. I think and like I said, go back to just taking it personal. I think we had a different respect for the game because if you watch our film from when we played, if a ball came outside the field, we felt like me and Courtney felt like it was our job to make the tackle, point blank period. We don't care what the job is. We're gonna do our job, but we're gonna make the tackle at the same time.
You know, I'll say this. You know, that first game y'all played against LSU, kicker misses 5 field goals. I was so pissed. I was so frustrated.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't understand how deflating that is for when you out there playing and you're doing all you can do on defense and the kicker misses 5 field goals. Like in 99, we should have won the national championship that year. We won the SEC, but we ended up losing because our kicker missing field goals. So, you know, for me, it was like, man, same thing happened to us, but y'all were still able to recover and go on and play them again and get that redemption. But people don't understand how deflating that is to put up those type of performances defensively and your kicker go out there and he's missing field goals. And they don't. So to overcome that, man, I got a mad props to y'all, man, because a lot of people won't overcome that. You know, they let that affect them and they end up just letting the season fall apart. So, you know, mad props to y'all, man, for still holding together even after that.
I just want to shout out the people who voted us back in. You know what I'm saying, to that championship. A lot of people was mad about that.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I think Oklahoma State coach Mike Gundy is still pissed off about that. And then just be honest, if Oklahoma State would have been in that game, they would have got completely destroyed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, y'all talked about shutting down a field. Y'all literally did that against LSU. You didn't let them pass 50. I've never in my whole time as a fan or even playing have ever seen anything like that. How does that happen?
I think that in my personal opinion, it's kind of like in a boxing match. Once you start throwing all the punches that you got in you and the other team is still standing, I think that starts to set in a little bit. And I think in the first game, they won the game, but I think they threw everything they had at us and they seen that we were still standing up. And I think that in the championship game, I don't even think, like I said, once again, I don't really think they came to they think that they really could beat us. I think it was at a point where they knew that it was over with. They didn't want to face us twice in 1 year.
Well, I mean, we had that extra time. You know, they went and played Georgia in the SEC championship, and we was preparing. You know what I'm saying, getting ready. And I mean, Jerrell, we was on the same field, man. They basically tried to run the same exact stuff that they somewhat had a little success with in the first game. It's like, bro, we've been practicing this. Why, you know what I'm saying, for weeks now. Like we
right. We don't dissected all these plays.
Both ran the pitch down, you know what I'm saying, made them pitch and then go run, make the tackle.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Switch it up, man. We know the game. Jordan Jefferson was spooked. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? We was in his head early and they couldn't bounce back.
I think he still wakes up in the middle of the night with nightmares screaming because of what y'all did to him. I mean, that was ruthless, brother. I mean, I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, but dang.
I enjoyed every second of it. 21-0. You couldn't ask for a better redemption. You couldn't.
I don't even think we even too much cared about if the offense scored that game. You know what I'm saying? We were just in a zone.
Right.
And Jerrell, you remember me telling, man, everybody, man, let's go be legendary, man. People gonna remember this game. And look, we still talking about it to this day, man. Like, it's crazy.
Absolutely.
And to shut them down the way you know what I'm saying? Let's not forget the post game, you know what I'm saying, speech by myself, you know what I'm saying?
That soundbite is still going on all the Alabama sports talk radio shows.
now, do you want to clarify that for us, Courtney? Because you told me not too long ago that you actually didn't say what everybody thought you said.
I said 4. You know how we say 4? I said 4 because I was handing up a trophy to Mark Van, whose number was 4, but I said 4. So touch that thing. Man, people they made songs, all this stuff, man. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Man, we finally had the truth revealed 9 years later.
There you go. Absolutely. I thought we need to clear that up for
him.
Well, we've talked about how great y'all's defense is. Let's transition to the current team. What did the both of you see from last year's defense that was missing? And take as much time as you like.
Hold on, time out. Before y'all start, don't be afraid to speak your minds.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you don't have to be shy about anything, at all.
I go first, man. I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
I feel like we didn't have that. We can go back to the Quentin Williams year when he dominated games, but I felt like he was the only one dominating games. You know what I'm saying? I was looking for that next person to step up. And then going into last year, there was not one single player for me who I felt on the defensive side to actually go out and dominate a game. You know what I'm saying? Be that Quentin Williams up this year or this past year. We had a few guys hurt. Some of the guys had to step up, and I felt like, some of the young guys, they kind of, in certain games that I did pay attention to, where we had a linebacker getting beat by a running back because he's standing in the backfield, I just felt like they wasn't particularly ready to perform. I'm going to put it like that. But, I always say, man, as long as Saban is there, we're going to have a damn good team. You know what I'm saying? But they have to buy in. You know what I'm saying? They got to understand that they have a job to do. And it's a standard there, been set a long time ago. It just picked back up once Saban got there, once me, Jerrell, and the rest of them guys got there. And now we got to keep it that same way. We dominate games as a defense, as a whole, and we got to get back to that. You know what I'm saying? That's my take on it. You know what I'm saying? I'll never, bash a kid or nothing like that. At the end of the day, you're playing for Alabama. Like I said, it's a standard. You got to maintain that standard, and we got to dominate on that side of the ball.
Absolutely. As for me, man, like I said, I'll take it back to just the level of respect and passion that we played. And I'm going to be honest, in the last 3-4 years, I haven't seen that same passion on defense. I haven't seen, regardless of how strict Coach Saban was, we wanted it even more. And, we held ourselves accountable for what we did on the field, point blank period. We never said, okay, Coach Saban didn't have us prepared or we weren't in position. We held ourselves accountable. And I haven't seen too many leaders on the field, even when you go back to, I like to watch the guys' body language on the losses and just when they down and stuff. And I don't really see any guys stepping up, man, in defense. When we came in, man, we had guys like Rolando McClain, man, that still is one of the top middle linebackers that would come through there. And he didn't allow you to do anything else, but to step up to the plate and play your best ball. He didn't allow any of that. And I think now we're missing that. We're missing those guys to really get in people's faces and make people play up to their level.
For me, at times, it looked like the moment was too big for some of them. Mm-hmm. Like they didn't realize what they had stepped into by agreeing to come play at Alabama. It's like, this is a different standard here. So what you thought you could have done in another school, not really gonna work over here. So, but it just seemed like that moment was just going over the head at times. Like you said, like Shaw said, you would see him in the backfield, looking in the backfield, running backs flaring out like, hey man.
Touchdown.
Right. I can see that from my couch. So clearly you see it from the field.
Mm-hmm. Right.
One of the players, go ahead.
My thing, like I said, even when I tell the guys at UAB, you know what I'm saying, like, who's going to take over? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to take over this game? You know what I'm saying? I'm just so used to being on dominant defenses, even when I got to Baltimore, you know what I'm saying, playing with Ray Lewis and them guys, man. It was the standard, man. Like, we shun this rundown. We getting after it. And I just want somebody to, stand out. You know what I'm saying? Just stand out from the rest of the pack, like Quentin Williams did. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, Anthony Jennings and Jerrell Lewis, them guys make hella plays. But for me, I want to see you take over. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just how I look at it, man. When you're playing this game, man, that's fun when you out there just dominating everybody.
I completely understand what you're saying, and I saw it. I mean, one guy that did stand out to me was Xavier McKinney, mainly because he was trying to do everything for everybody and make up for the mistakes that other players were making. And one of the things that Jared Maiden had said in an interview a while back was, like y'all just said, there was a lot of looking around, people looking to see who's going to be the guy who's going to step up instead of actually people being that guy,
Right. Yeah, I think, man. I think this generation, this class of kids, man. I don't know if the social media has kind of took over. It kind of, just to be honest, it seemed like they just plan to get their stats and leave at this point. A lot of guys, I don't feel like it's really like, we don't get me wrong, we worried about the NFL, but we knew that we had to take care of business as a team first, And I think that's the difference. They kind of like, no, I'm just getting my stats and get up out of here.
But for as long as I've been watching Alabama football and played at Alabama, I've never seen as many missed tackles as I did this past season.
Exactly.
And, I've never seen that many missed tackles.
Another thing that I never seen last season, we gave up 10 to 11 penalties per game, and we were ranked 43rd in the nation on third down. Let that sink in. When was the last time that ever happened? Yeah, but how much of that was youth or inexperience, and how much of that was lack of discipline?
So that's some of both, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? They kids, but they are old enough to understand. Like, look, again, I'm going back to that standard. This standard's been set a long time ago. This is how you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? This is how we expect it to be done. But you got to put it on yourself. You know what I'm saying? To be a grown-up and go out there and handle your business. And that's going to help you better yourself and be in a better position to get to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Handle here first, and let's focus on NFL later.
Absolutely.
And just piggybacking off what Jerrell was saying, but the missed tackles and stuff, man, I mean, it's the fundamentals of football, man. We got to have choppers. We got to stop these guys. We got to, you know what I'm saying, get off the field on third downs, man. That's the small part. When you get to the highest level, there's so much more going to a lot of this stuff, man. So, you sit out there and miss all them tackles you want to. You think them scouts ain't going to see them same missed tackles.
And it was a lot of them on third downs. It was so many instances where they should have been off the field, but a missed tackle extends drives. And we all know how that impacts the defense, because after you've been tackling running backs, all game, and they rotate 2 or 3 running backs, the linebackers been in there all game. So you heard in that fourth quarter, they still fresh, because now you played all these plays because you're not getting off the field.
Absolutely.
Okay, speaking of the leadership aspect, of course, we know Dylan Moses is back. So is Josh McMillan. So is LeBron Ray. How much does that change everything?
And that's the same for the offense. Those guys lead the guys. That's how I look at it. I mean, you still got young guys. Some of these guys played a lot last year as freshmen, especially at the linebacker position. And they got to look for them to take that next step, along with Dylan, being back. I expect Dylan to come back and be Dylan, you know what I'm saying, make plays and be that leader. But I mean, the rest of you guys just got to fall in line, man. And, I like just saying that, it's not just one leader. I mean, just because you're not the guy who speaks a lot, it's still certain ways you can, help lead. You know what I'm saying? I found myself like, I might rah and stuff like that. But shoot, Jerrell tell you, man, I'm probably the most quietest person that you'll ever meet. You know what I'm saying? But when it got time to, being on that field and being with my dogs on that field, like, look, I'm trying to get this dub. But
Exactly.
I might say, be the one out there talking trash, saying a few cuss words and stuff like that. But, hey, between these white lines, I'm a different Courtney. But I'll just feel like be the most quietest person, you know what I'm saying? So, I had to go through the phase of growing up and taking the next step as being a leader. And it's the same for these guys, man. It's just a process that they got to go through.
Absolutely. And I think, like I said, it's a tremendous opportunity for these guys to be coming back. But I think it's an opportunity for the guys that was there last year to step up now because they got a season under their belt. They got reps. They got, game time. So they should be – I'm looking for them to make just as many plays as Dylan. And just also looking for these guys to make it to give us, more durable players this year. I think we got 9 outside linebackers and 9 inside linebackers coming into the season. So I'm just looking for us, hopefully, to be able to stay healthy. That's the main thing. I feel like if we can stay healthy, we give ourselves the best opportunity.
Well, yeah, if they stay healthy, but we have an extra dynamic this year that we've never had before. You're playing 10 SEC games.
Mm-hmm.
That's
you're
not
gonna need them healthy.
Thing to
Yeah,
you're going to need them bodies.
You're going to need bodies. And, at the end of the season, whoever holds up best, that's who's going to be last team standing.
Absolutely.
And the best got to play the best. That's how I see it.
Yeah. But, honestly, I like this playing 10 SEC games opposed to playing these little scrub schools.
For sure. I agree with you on that.
Separate the men from the boys. Separate them early.
man.
Absolutely.
And let's be honest, whoever comes out of the SEC, go ahead and give them that ring. I mean, there is no question. No other conference is doing what we're doing. I mean, the SEC is already the most NFL ready conference, and there's no one that comes close to that right now.
See, but I will say y'all had it easier than we had it though.
In what sense?
Do you know the running backs that we faced when I was in school?
I knew that was coming.
Did you know the running backs we faced in practice every day?
Hold on. No. Okay.
We had 3 Heisman finalists on practice every day.
I'll give you one example. Playing Tennessee, they were rotating Jamal Lewis and Travis Henry every other play. That ain't foul. That ain't foul for 4 quarters. But the week before that, we was out there tackling Deuce McAllister. Then after that, we tackling James Johnson, Kevin Falk, Rudy Johnson, all those guys.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you put him on his ass?
Every time. Again, hey, listen. That black is on that wall for a reason.
We need film. We need film.
Oh, hey, look. Line them up.
I wasn't backing down from nobody now.
Hey,
nobody.
No, sir. Line them up.
Line them up. Let's go.
We need film.
Yeah, we need film. We need tape.
Oh, man, the Bryant Museum did that for me, so it's all online. Hey, the Bryant Museum, they brought me up to speed. Shout out to the Bryant Museum for making me Y2K compliant. Hey.
Hey, Bryant.
And then we went to our bowl game, and we had to play we played FedEx Orange Bowl. Anthony Thomas and Tom Brady's the quarterback. Come on, man. So we got to see Tom Brady before the rest of the world even knew what Tom Brady was.
Right.
Was Tom Brady nice like that in college?
I tell you what, we were beating them. We were up by almost 3 touchdowns. He didn't play the first half. They brought him in the second half. He went to work on us.
Hey, so he always been the comeback kid there.
And field goal kicker ended up missing 2 field goals, so we lost by 1 point. All right, come on, man. There's always a kicker somewhere blowing it.
And we used to have kickers at our school. When did that change? I mean, all Americans. I mean,
funny story. I'm gonna tell you why we hated kickers in school. when Dubose was there. We'd be out there in full pass, practicing, sweating hard. We look in the indoor facility. They're in there in full pass, playing touch football. Like, man, y'all need to be over here somewhere trying to kick.
What?
Full pass playing touch football. Come on, man. That's why y'all missing kicks instead of y'all need to be practicing.
Oh Lord. Speaking of coaches, we're adding Freddie Roach to the fold. What does that
Okay.
do for our defense? I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, he was there when I was there, and man, he was just a special player, intense, and he's bringing that same intensity as a coach to the field. How much of an upgrade does that defense get having him on the coaching staff?
A big
Tremendous.
upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as we all know, man, the staff that was there with me and Courtney, half of them may be still there. It's a few pieces, but they aging. And I think so the aggression and the mentality that they put in us, of course, that's aging as well. So we need younger guys to be able to step in and be able to implement that mentality that, like you said, Courtney said, the standard. But we need young guys that was there to be able to put that standard in. I think so. I think it's tremendous for the defense to have him on the staff now.
Yeah. Big step for sure.
Well, Freddie, if you are watching this, man, I texted you this morning and you didn't respond. I'm still waiting on you to get back at me. But I think by having Freddie in there as the coach, man, I think that's phenomenal, man, because Freddie came in as a player right when I was finishing up. So I got to watch him as a kid coming out of high school, grow up, and watching him play with D'Amico and all those guys. So I know what they had instilled in them, after going through the probation and all the other stuff, still choosing out of them, still being successful. So I know he's going to have that same attitude and mentality translate to the field with the guys who he's coaching.
All right. We've talked about somebody who needs to step up. For each of you guys, who is the guy that needs to step up coming into the season?
I'll go with the whole front. D-line, getting after the quarterback, what I'm saying, especially on downs. We shutting the run down and we're getting to get back to it. So I'm not going to, like I say, I'm not going to ban somebody, but what I'm saying, I'm going to put after it. So I'm put it on them.
Right. I'm going to say for me, the guy I think that needs to step up, and I'm gonna expect a big year from him at Saint-Ain. I think that when he came in, he had a lot of hype. He's the prototypical NFL cornerback size. I think I'm ready to see him, cut loose and just ball out and be a lockdown cornerback.
For me, I want to see Lee step up. I want to see him, hopefully this offseason, he had a chance to loosen those hips up. Because I used to see him out there with them tight hips. He used to remind me of Courtney with that tight back at times. It's like he got a rubber band in his back. Like, come on, man, loosen up. So I'm hoping that, during the offseason, that he was able to loosen up some and get that lateral movement together. Because I do think that he could be a great addition to what, with Moses and all these other guys, if he's able to move laterally. Because that was one of the things that I seen hindering him a lot last year.
For me, I think it's going to be Christian.
I agree with you on that.
For me, I think it's going to be Christian Harris. I think this kid is a phenomenal athlete, and when it's all said and done, he's probably going to be one of the best that's played the position. But my biggest thing is let Christian Barmore eat. Let him do what he can do because that man's a beast, and we got to turn him loose.
Got to turn him loose.
Absolutely.
We don't make them calls. We just sit back and we watch. Got to turn loose.
Hey, but I bet a lot on games, and so I hate having to pay people, so I need them to turn them loose because I don't like paying people.
Hey, turn them loose.
No doubt. I'm ready to see it. All right, well, guys, we're getting close to the end of the show. Do y'all have any closing remarks as we start to head out?
So me?
Yeah.
I just want to, ask that everybody continue to stay safe, man, out here in this world. So much going on, you know, with the injustices and the Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. And, you know, this coronavirus, man, just ask everybody to continue to stay safe. You know, as a person who like to just, you know, stay to himself, I mean, the time is now we all come together, you know what I'm saying, as a whole, as a country, and, you know, just try to make this world better. That's all pretty much what I got.
Absolutely. I think Courtney said it best. So it ain't really nothing else to be said after that.
Man, you know, me personally, you know, I just want to thank y'all for taking time out of y'all busy schedules. I know y'all got a lot going on to spend this time with us, man, and I'm grateful. And like I said in the beginning, I was always truly a fan of y'all, man. I was just like all the people in the stands were cheering for y'all. I was cheering even harder, man. I've always been a fan of y'all. I enjoyed watching every minute of y'all play, man. And I wish y'all nothing but the best in any and every endeavor that you have going on in life right now.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And Courtney, I got one request for you.
What's up?
Tell Jason, Lil Jones, I said, what's up? Lil TJ, what's up?
I already know. I got you.
I appreciate that, brother.
All right.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Hey, I just want to thank you guys for coming on. I mean, it's just a tremendous honor to be able to speak with you guys. Definitely two of the best players we ever had on the defensive side of the ball, along with my co-host Marvin. What I love about you guys, like the other players we've talked to, is just that humble heart, but also that drive and that hunger to be successful no matter what you do. So I wish you guys the best like Marvin does in everything you do. And again, I thank y'all for coming on. And by the way, Courtney, Ravens flock, I'm there with you too. By the way, how can we get in touch with you guys on social media for the fans who want to keep up with you?
I mean, Instagram, I'm c.upshaw_91. On Twitter, I'm 334_Upshaw. I think something 41. I don't know. I can't remember. Something like that. But yeah, you'll find me. You should easily find me, man. But man, again, I appreciate y'all for, you know, inviting me on, having me on. Jerrell, you know, I appreciate you, bro.
No doubt.
Again, man, I thank y'all for sure.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
I will remind everybody, Marvin's book is for sale. You can actually find Physical Mental Fitness at 40 Plus. A link is on our website. They'll take you to Marvin's site. So I expect all of our listeners to go ahead and get that. Also, remind everybody, check out my latest article, Never Give Up, the story of Alabama legend Kevin Jackson. If you have any questions about the next show or us, feel free to email us at the Riley and Constant Show at gmail.com.
Hey, while I'm thinking about it, real quick, what you got for me?
I was going to say, go ahead and tell everybody about next week.
Oh, man, next week's guest, great, man. He's a phenomenal guy, one of my good friends, former All-Pro, former Alabama 3rd overall pick, the man himself, Chris Samuels, baby. He'll be on with us live next Tuesday.
Big Sam. All right. As always, guys, remember to visit us at thesportscast.net. That's our website. We're on Twitter at thesportscast1. Same thing on Instagram. Y'all can also find me on Twitter at JustinRiley7, on Instagram at JustinRiley_7. All right, guys. Again,
me on Instagram too. Constant 45, baby. It's right there. It's real simple. I don't remember my new Twitter yet. So my old Twitter got locked, so I'm still working on remembering that. But
you've already forgotten your new Twitter account information.
I don't remember it. I just set it up.
It was 5 days ago, man. When you talk about that mental fitness thing again, that's in your book there, man.
Right.
Constant 45. Hey, IG, you can find me right there.
Well, yeah, as always, guys, it's a pleasure, and I'll send us off. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.